Hello everyone, I haven't been doing this Qigong videos for quite a bit of time, and um, I, I don't know, maybe I can say I have reasons for that. Maybe um, um, sorry, when my cat comes to me, the flow of thoughts just disappears. Okay, so I don't know, I probably wanted to talk a little bit about uh, I don't know, new format maybe is the word for this kind of videos. So I don't know, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but um, I like to play the game of Go, and the common format there in the game of Go is when whoever plays, he just plays the game like he usually does. Meanwhile, he's trying to explain the moves that he makes, and I'm learning from watching streams like some strong players who play in the game of Go, and um, then I make my own videos on that topic. And that's essentially the way how I train. And the way how I train and the way how I maybe expose is not the good word, but how I share what I came up with, what I am coming up with during that process of shooting the video while I'm playing the game of Go, literally recording the desktop of my computer. Um, what I like in that format is vastly different from when somebody is teaching someone else, like you do this, and then there is teacher, there is a student, and there is a subject. I think that format is too tense. It's like I don't like that. I don't want my videos to be like tutorials. I was doing lots of tutorials. I started as like doing tutorials on programming videos, etc. Many things like that. But I no longer see much sense in that. First of all, because that's not the way how I learn myself. Mostly like not the tutorials, but just you follow along somebody who really does the job, and that's it. So I thought that maybe instead of trying to teach somebody something, because it doesn't quite make sense, because all these inner practices and the deeper you go, the more relevant what I'm about to say just right at the moment becomes. So that it's very personal, it's very subjective. It's not about something good for all. You can only do something bad for all people at the same time, but you cannot do something good for all people at the same time, because good is subjective and bad is objective. So that's the goal. So literally, this matter of you just learn the forms, show how to make these forms, doesn't quite make sense, I think, because even you know all of those forms, it just goes on top of all those tensions you have in your life, on top of all those unsolved problems that you have. And literally, all these inner Qigong like things are designed to exactly work with those tensions that you have and try to release those and try to make sure you're no longer um, being under the pressure of those. Relax, get rid, let go, all that kind of thing. And if that happens, then Qigong practice makes sense. If that does not happen, if you just start building on top of your tensions, it's not going anywhere. Especially in martial arts, there are some competitions, like in judo, for instance. It's a very good thing that you learn some techniques, you learn how to apply the technique on an unresisting opponent, you make a throw, and you like understand how to make it then there is a resistant opponent. You have a competition with not with an idea to beat somebody, but competing your very own self. To be very honest, like trying to fight your own stupidity, and then if it works, if you can do this kind of throw, That's good. Same the game on Go. So literally, for me personally, all the matter of like interacting with the outer world, which I've been talking for quite a lot, it all has moved to the area of the game of Go, and I no longer feel the need to like show all this techniques. Especially this probably looks stupid. Hopefully funny, but probably stupid when there is no opponent that I seemingly applying technique to, or some opponents some seemingly applying technique to me. It might be fun, but it doesn't make that much of a sense. And instead, what I think makes sense is I just live my life. I may change the way I practice. The practices I practice also might get changed because I'm not sticking to the certain particular forms, styles, things. I'm sticking to, I'm observing Qigong practice generally as the way to resolve my inner tensions, to bring the yin yang balance inside, to make my psyche calm down, relax, and sink to Dantian. So those are the goals. And generally, uh, whatever I can talk about is like what particular issues I have and how do I approach resolving those. And that's pretty much it. So it's not about talking like you have a problem like that and this is supposed to be resolved like this. It's not the case because it's very personal. What works for one may not work for another because all these things are very inner and subjective, internal and subjective. But when I watch these Go videos, like the person might have a different level that you have, different style. You may even never encounter those positions that he encounters in his games, but the general overall flow and the problem solving and the approach into so literally he lives, he plays, he lives. There is the live process, the live communication with the board, with the game, with the opponent, with the chat who is watching the live stream, etc. So it's all live. It's like imagine I just do some I don't know woodworking or welding or whatever, and you just stand by and watch me doing this. I'm not doing the right way. I'm not doing how it has to be. I just do it my way because it fits my exact needs. And I believe I don't claim anything. I just believe it. For me, my like 15 plus years experience will be closer to 20 years quite soon. It's all about like how would you apply all this Shigun stuff to your very own self to benefit yourself, to work with yourself? Because the deeper it goes, the more like subjective and internal it becomes. So I can only share those things that I'm currently up with, I'm interested in, I work on, I have discovered something. So this is like as if I invite you for a cup of tea or to join my practice, my training process. So it's not about the making you doing something. It's just if you're interested, you may come and join and watch what I'm doing here and listen to how I explain what I do if you're interested, because this might be potentially somehow useful to you, just like as if I watch the game of Go, I listen to the explanations and I take a whole lot of information and insights and even some flow results within inside me. And very interesting thing that I had teachers in many disciplines that I've been through. But the game of Go is an exception. I never had a teacher in the game of Go. And like I always say, it's all the matter of the flow. If you feel the flow, you may follow. If you may follow, you may build whatever you see in someone else within your very own self, and then apply this to your very own life, adopting things and make it your very own original kind of practice. With this in mind, I hope that like if this works for the game of Go and like when I learn to kill the groups, do all that stuff like strategic plans, ideas, position evaluation, all this stuff. So when I go for that, I really feel like interested, involved, addicted even, and I'm just growing. I'm learning myself. So this is all about like the process of learning. It's more like the process of learning than the process of teaching. And I realized when I started making my very own videos on the game of Go, although the level is like quite miserable, but I'm now at the point where I can like win 4 games out of 5, and 1 game I lose just because of blunder or something. And I know what am I doing. I can explain it on my low level. I can like describe what am I doing, why, and hopefully that might bring some use to those people who's watching the channel. On my chess programming channel, where there are no longer there are no more chess, no more programming, but only me playing the game of Go, as well as this Monkey See Monkey Do channel, where it was like about software development, and sometimes like made a world's smallest text editor video recently. But now it's neither about programming nor like any stuff related to software development and this kind of Qigong thing. Yeah, for from the perspective of monetization and any kind of selling way of things, it doesn't make sense and probably even makes it worse. I don't quite care about this anymore because I realized that the job that I do to make money is like one thing. What I do internally to develop myself is the other thing. And to me personally, connecting these two is like evil because I don't believe in loved job. So you might have either loved one or a job. If you make your loved one as a job, it's no longer a loved one. No, it becomes a job. That's my very own philosophy. I'm not really about to like, expose this to anyone, to try to make anyone believe in this. Not about this. This is very personal, and it all depends on you're in a nature. Then it's not an objective thing. It's a subjective thing. And the inner you go, the deeper you go, the more subjective things become, and that's quite important to understand. So I think that I like this process of sharing because when I share something, it helps me grow in myself. At the same time, probably more focus on the actual practice because, like, when I just make the qigong and I'm not shooting myself, I'm not controlling myself that much. Not control versus relaxation, but control as consciousness. So not enough consciousness. But when I know that the camera is shooting me while making some exercises, I put more effort and I just being more like conscious and more responsible for what am I doing. And this generally like, makes this benefits my practice. So that's the idea. So that's where the idea to shoot this actual process when I actually train is very interesting. So just like in the game of Go, when I shoot the video, I actually train, I actually improve, I make it better, and this is just being like documented in the video format. And same with this qigong, just documenting this process. So this is what makes sense to me, you know. And I think that I can just go exactly this way. And just to make it a little bit more interesting to you, yeah, probably the sun is now pointing to the camera, so you can probably, I don't know, maybe sun just goes out there. I don't know, maybe I can. No, it's just too far. Yeah, sorry, just the camera placement is not very nice because this video is not planned. I will be working on this maybe starting from the next time. So what I want to emphasize like today is some very small uh, technical part regarding the walking qigong that I make, and probably ending up over in here. And I want the videos generally to be like as if you joined my training, and like if you have some questions, or it's better to say if I have something particular I'm working on just right today, I can share it. I'm happy to share it. It's okay. It's totally fine, and might be a benefit to you. You like join this what I'm doing. Please mentally, please just trying to learn about this if you're interested. So that's the idea. That's the idea. So yeah, I'll probably just put the camera from to a different location so that the sun is not shining just right to the camera. Yeah, now the downside is that the shadow from the tripod, but yeah, and also sun is now shining to my eyes. But yeah, I think we can get done with it. So, one of the core principles within this walking Qigong that I know like for a very long time, but just literally a couple of days ago, I was able to implement this in my very own practice. Is that when we do whatever forms, techniques, martial arts, qigong, doesn't matter. We usually mm, wrap things around us, and we become big, experience, and the life energy goes out. So we like know everything, understand everything, but we're getting old, and we have no longer like life energy or power to do something, and the only thing we can do is just to spoil other people with our experience, without letting them to go through their very own experience, trying to prevent them from making their very own mistakes. Yeah, that's how it usually happens. But what if we could rewind back this kind of thing? I was probably talking about this in some previous videos. I don't remember really. But I was talking about this like theoretically, without much understanding this myself. Not really understanding, without much feeling this within inside. So, very first step, which is called Xiao Yao Bu, just like the uh, entire full set of exercises in Chinese, Xiao Yao Bu, carefree wandering. uh, Bu literally means stepping, and Xiao Yao means like carefree. So when you have lots of cares, you need to care about this, care about that, care about something else. It just grows big, and it's like you take one back, you take another back, and your knees starts to bend, and you just like boom, 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 and you're all tired, and like that's it. Sorry. So that's what usually happens. So what if I tell you, like no, it's like I'm not advertising anything, but just forgive me this phrase. What if I tell you that, let's say I have many backs, and then I may just throw down one back, throw down another, and from behind and from front, and then just get rid of all those backs, and suddenly I start floating, and I feel like as if I'm 20 years old. No problems, no issues, nothing to worry about, no worries. And I just enjoy the life. I enjoy the sun. I enjoy. I smile. Like I'm happy, you know. And this is our very own decision whether we consider to take more bags and become like tensed and not even able to move, or if we just get rid of all that and breathe freely and just uh, enjoy being. It's like one of the reasons why this particular practice has shown in China, it has shown the good results with treating cancer. So cancer cases has been like cancer disappeared after practicing this. You might be wondering why. What's the mechanism? What's the mechanics? It's very simple. So mechanics is that when you have all this weight on you, then the body says like, okay, I'm done, and I just want to die. Cancer comes. It's not the only reason, but generally, I'm not talking about cancer with little children. That's a bit different story. So I'm talking about adults in the 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. So when you have lots of life experience, when your head is exploding from the knowledge and all this stuff. So the way how it works, by just releasing all this tension and rewinding, kind of rewinding the life back, it allows you just give up the. It doesn't mean you give up the experience, but you give up the matter of being so sure that your experience is the only possible way of doing things in life. You just open your mind, and you, from a well-educated person, you turn into a child who is open-minded and ready to learn new things. That's the idea. The heart opens because you're ready to learn new things. That's the idea. And this mechanism, what it does, it just gets rid of the tension, and by the time you're getting rid of the tension, literally, like it's called fansun in Chinese, like release and let go, then the life energy starts feeling you from within naturally, like connecting to heaven and earth, and they just merge in Dantian. The heart starts like bringing joy to the entire world, and that's how the process of rewinding yourself back is happening. But it's not very simple to just feel this within. I was lucky to get into this recently because of quite very hard circumstances that I live within. I don't want to make you happy by talking about this. I just want to tell you that this matter of the bags and that I put on my shoulders and this tension and the head is exploding, it becomes so hard that I realize that I either die now or I need to change something. And when you just want to live, you realize that you cannot live the way you want. You can live the way your inner nature allows you to. And then you just come into this inner process of um, like rewinding life back. And this inner process is the very basis behind the entire exercise set, this walking Qigong Xiao Yao Bu. And the very first step, the carefree wandering step, it is exactly designed to put the body into the certain type of form where this drop of these bags that you have on your shoulders, it happens like easier, I would say. So it's not about that step is doing something, step is not doing anything. If you just step like a robot, it's like it's not going to help. This is inner process. So the inner process should just occur. And if the inner process occurs, this inner process stops me. Not me doing the step, but the inner process stops me. And the particular technique of this step is not very uh, complicated. Other steps has more complicated techniques, but this one is like is the simplest technique. So all you need is just you have full filled leg, you have an empty leg, steps on the heel, okay, and the arm is coordinated with the dantian, three fingers down below the navel, three fingers deeper, like this, as if you're holding some stick here, okay, and then this movement, and you drop everything, yeah. So like creating potential, and then just bring everything out. Create potential and let go. Create potential and let go. And what we can do, we can create potential. So we can kind of like create potential, and then if we try to let go, we are not letting go. We're just making it even harder. It's like in judo, if you try to throw, but your heels going downwards, and you try to throw, you're not throwing, you're just falling down. And if you really want to throw, you need to put the heels up. And in this case, you may have this uprising power. I'm sorry for this, but I never did judo myself, but recently I felt like I want to learn about this. I don't have an option to go outside and try this for real, but so the only option I had is just to watch the videos. But after experiencing Aikido and some Chinese martial arts like Tai Chi, Bagua, and Yan Chen, Tai Chi, Chen, Bagua, I kind of understand how are they doing this, and I even without the opponent, I may like feel sense this internally, and this is quite cool. So here the principle is very similar. So if you just if you're not released, but you try to create potential, and then you try to mimic as if you release, you literally weighting yourself down, and it's like you have like tones of something, and it just brings you down, and yeah, So that's how it's happening. But the idea is that you can only create the potential and then you just let go. You can create the potential and then you just let go. Okay? So, on the one hand, this rewinding process is just available within inside. You may just invoke this. And if you want this rewind process, it starts stepping you. It just starts stepping you. On the other hand, if this is not happening, then how to train? You just create a potential, and then you just relax and step. Forget about everything. Create a potential, and then just forget about everything. Just step. Create potential, forget about everything. So that's the methods methodology behind this, and that's the reason why, if like empty step, we just make like empty step there, empty step back, like back and like 50 steps to that, so maybe 20 steps forwards, 20 steps backwards, and it takes maybe a couple of minutes, and then you go to another step, another step. But with this carefree wandering step, it's meant to be practiced longer, like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, because you cannot release the tension from the head, and your inner energy chi like just puts the pressure up, and the shoulders get intense, and you live like this usually, and it's very hard to sink down the energy to Dantian and open the heart and do all this kind of things. So it's quite complicated. And when you have the option, when you like practicing, you just create the circumstances that would help you uh, get rid of that tension. So that's the idea. So there are two approaches. Just to summarize, this I knew this like for almost 20 years apparently, but only today I realized how this can actually be done. So how it's meant to be done, you just discover this process internally, and if you discover this process, you just let the process walk you. You let the process walk you. So process works, not me. Just the process. Whatever step doesn't matter. Just this process is working. If you don't have this process, though, then you just create the circumstances and then just release, let go. Create the circumstances and release, let go. So that's the way to practice it. And doing this like 20, 30 minutes a day for 20 years, if you're lucky, then maybe this would one day work with it inside you. I thought this would never work in me. It just happened a couple of days ago, and I'm quite happy. Yeah, I'll probably have a chance. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, like the wind starts blowing and camera, microphone probably have some bad noises. And literally, I said everything I wanted to today. So, hopefully, see you in the next video, and whatever insights I come with, I'll be happy to share with you. This is from my side. Thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers.